What is it, 19 February 2026. 4:20? 4:36. Wow, you got that wrong. You thought it was 4:20. 4:36 a.m. Nice. What do you think it is, like 60 degrees? It's probably like 60, 55, 51. Shorts, t-shirt, hoodie. But you do have water. So that's good. Feynman, they take Feynman lectures and they use his voice and then they have his mouth move using some sort of AI bullshit. Something about electricity. I don't understand electricity. Something to do with flow. But now Feynman's telling me, the robot Feynman in front of a blackboard is telling me there's actually no movement. But he's also saying that it's a good analogy to compare electricity to water flow or something. You know, amps is number of electrons or something. The more electrons that hit you, the amps, the more high of a chance you have of dying, I think. But the AI blackboard Feynman is telling me, well, it's an analogy, but it's not exactly true, which is cool, you know, because, funny. I mean, it's clearly not him talking. It's what is the name of the channel? I don't know. Funny. I still can't figure this out entirely. Like, I know there's like this central computer part. You know, I'm watching these videos about these data centers. They're the size of Walmart's. Maybe they're probably bigger than Walmart's. But, you know, they're like big fucking warehouses. And they make thousands of decibels. And, you know, low level decibels. It's some sort of noise pollution. You can feel it, but you can't hear it. Is the way I understand it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, as long as there's not one near me, I guess. Hey, guess what? Good news. There's a data where, I hope it's not. I mean, based on these, what they're saying, it does like damage to your body. Oh, well, so there's a big AI thing, and you ask the AI for like information, and you're like, hey, you know, it'll take a bunch of, and then there's, whatever, that's not the point. It's the modern mining, actually. It's going to be so, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's late. Shouldn't have done this so late. Your teeth are not sharp enough for this world. 60 degrees. It's not gonna. Ownership. I do like that. Actually, I think it's probably the darkest thesis I've ever had. Of all the theses I've had, I think the thesis that the elites created Epstein and the gays and the fucking... What was the other example you had? I don't know. I can't remember. It was the middleman. There's a third one, right? That's the darkest thesis you've ever had. It's actually probably the best one in a certain way. The better analogy would be the elites crave face and they create these other things to save their face. I mean, that's an analogy, I guess. Fixers, is it like a fixer thing? There was that one TV show, Fixers are the behind the scenes people who fix the stuff. The polite up front, fixers behind the scenes. Nice in public, Epstein in private. Okay. It's the two-facedism of it. Huh. That one guy was really short. He was Sabretooth in X-Men. Could he be a fixer? Maybe. I don't. It's a TV show. He has plot armor. Good question. What was the other question? Nope. I mean, it was going to be something else. Public performance. See, technically this is public performance because I'm in a public spot, but technically I'm making entertainment. It's terrible entertainment, but interesting. Nope. What else? Whatever. If you watch more nature documentaries, you would have realized camouflage and dishonesty are actually the way of nature. Probably. You should watch more nature documentaries. Whatever. Macro level AI in warehouses like Walmart, or on the other hand, you have your individual. What is it called? Like your individual. Oh, he was using computer parts as an analogy. Well, it could be like grocery lists. Grocery, not lists, but grocery. You don't want to use the word cachet. You could use the word stock. What you have in stock. I still haven't entirely figured out how that. So on the one hand, I'm very lazy, and I just want something I can go, hey, I've got this list. What can I do with this without spending too much money? I don't want to go buy something unless I have to buy. I want that feeling of satisfaction of using something I already have. That's laziness. That's why the server companies probably buy server parts every 3-4 years, and they delegate their main business. They sell them on eBay for like a couple $100. The old processors. They specialize in what they specialize in, and then they say fuck it to the rest, probably. So how come they can't hold a gun to Elon Musk's head and get him to change some of those, is it Memphis? I don't know, I mean, or is it just, on a macro level, he's right to make those. It's not Bitcoin, it's Grok, right? So if you went and listened to Elon Musk for like, you saw the one documentary about the people getting sick off the fucking low level noise pollution. If you just went and you have to focus on the big picture being something else. I mean, yeah, that's what it is. That's a good quote. I mean, it's mental pollution. I have mental pollution from YouTube. Interesting. That is why walking is important. It gets you away from noise/internet pollution. It's hard to make objective choices when people have all these faces. They make all these little emotional faces. I hate to sound like Stalin here, but it's not death of one is a tragedy. It's more, I don't know. They had that one dog picture. The dog was all. Did the noise pollution hurt the dog? I feel like Hitler here. I feel a lot for dogs. Close down Grok. Sarcasm, by the way. Hopefully. Yeah, it's 100%. They're going to do all the D-Day planned by AI. That's probably the future. You have to do it. I mean, that's the macro story. But it is sad the dog will die. Or it's not dying, but it looks like it had a wrinkled chest. Did noise pollution make a dog have wrinkled chest? So I guess in the macro story, they're gonna have to make those places buy like the land around it, or build huge walls, or I don't know. It's I wouldn't want one near me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I 100% think that it's sad. This is the next Manhattan. It might actually be the next Manhattan Project. Sadly, ugh. Which is why you must get away from noise pollution and walk around. Whatever. It is very, it's not bad, actually. Whatever. Make a list of all your parts. I don't know, do you just want to sell them? Maybe you should just sell them and buy new. You're trying to reuse stuff too much. There's a cleanliness to not having to constantly reuse everything. New meta. Humans buy clothes, wear them one day, throw them. That's terrible. Maybe they do that. There's probably people who do that. I don't like washing clothes. It's, I don't know. The people who actually make money off the Vegeta Scouter, it's not going to be you. If you wanted to make money off the Vegeta Scouter, you'd have to, I don't know, you'd have to do something else. I mean, the Vegeta Scouter is the macro play. Not Vegeta Scouter, but it's an analogy. It's not literally a Vegeta Scouter, it's, but there's a ton of people already doing that, 10,000 times better than you. Yeah, that's true. You were initially going to talk about Western society is built on, actually it's built on martyrdom. Jesus, Socrates. That's a bit more of a morbid topic. If you want to chase Western society, chase self-destruction. And on that day, Socrates, they accused him of corrupting the youth. And Socrates raised his hand and pointed forward, and the youth killed the elites. Really? That's a good one. The other Jesus one would be, the Roman said, "You shall be crucified." He shot lightning bolts out of his hand. Interesting. It's the fresh air that will keep you from going crazy. Maybe. Insert. Gestalten. What is it? Pursuit? Is it Pursuit? Is the name of the song Pursuit? Maybe. Narcissism is the creation of a godlike character or a imaginary friend that solves all of the narcissist problems. Okay, that's probably true. A fake reality. Is it bubble? Is it distortion reality? Is it similar to distortion reality? Maybe. Humans would have, if humans didn't have narcissism and Elon Musk's and Trump's and Hitler's and, I don't know, is Stalin a narcissist? Was Mao a narcissist? I don't know their stories as well. He robbed banks? They don't fit the communist people. The conservatives need to do a better job of turning them into human stories in terms of, I mean, it could fit. I think I read like half of a Stalin biography once. I think it could fit. I don't know Mao's story. Is it true they were like hippies, all those communists fucking, like a fucking, were they fucking like rabbits in that one area? That was an analogy I heard once. Very funny. Mao's wife, kind of cute when she was in her 20s. Very funny. Was she in her 20s when she was good? I don't know. I need power. How do I get power? I just need infinite amounts of power. Electricity? Yeah, but no, symbolically. Not like water in a pipe. To quote, is it Alex Jones? He was using it in the context of the adrenal gland produces a certain toxin when fear is expressed by, is it really that? I bet humans can subconsciously detect fear. With Alex Jones, he was using it in a child terms, the adrenal glands of children. Now, if you want to be narcissistic, you could say all human beings are children, and you crave the adrenaline, You're rationalizing Alex Jones as being well, he is technically rational. Technically, Kim Jong-un is rational, right? I guess. So rationality is not really... Rationality is a tool. The adrenal gland produces fear. One can subconsciously detect the fear. I need to be able to milk adrenal glands of other people to stroke my ego. Well, that's a good one. In the Alex Jones analogy, I think it was the elites harvest the adrenal glands of children. But I'm expanding this because as a narcissist, all human... This truck right here, this guy's a narcissist. He's a child. They're all children, in my opinion. But that's because I'm a narcissist. So. 8 billion children. Technically, this is an interesting question. The concept of children is based on the concept of plasticity of mind. Is that what are you defining? One of it is age. That's Now you sound like a pedo. True. But macro level pedo would be 8 billion children. You did watch a 1 hour documentary about, you watched like, was it a 2 hour documentary about the Butlerian Jihad? I mean, in the background, not watching it directly. Wow, a lot of people died. And that was written in the 60s or maybe the 80s and 90s, actually. I don't know. When the children wrote it, right? The father did not write the Butlerian Jihad stories. Big robots the size of skyscrapers. Flamethrowers on their knees. Some sort of force field blockade of a planet. I vaguely remember stuff. I have macro level visions. I don't have exact details. Skyscraper size robots. Brains inside of robots. People. Ooh, Mao. It's Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping wants to live to be 150, 200 years old. Xi Jinping will stick his brain in a computer, similar to the robots from the Butlerian Jihad. Okay. I do not want to play this game that you humans play. I do not like your game. Your game does not look fun. I would rather mock it. See, here's the thing. Once you build the fucking Dyson sphere, then you have to fucking defend it. And then you got asteroids you have to shoot down. It's just more fucking tedious. It's just gonna drag you down. Everything drags you down. You do something, you build it, and you're like, the building part is fun, but then you have to fucking maintain it. And then you're like, oh man, I don't want to maintain any of this. Think about this. How much of life is actually maintenance of infrastructure / Dyson sphere / spreadsheets / janitors / it's all just fucking maintenance, actually. Most of what percentage of the economy is actually maintenance? Road maintenance, electricity maintenance. Someone's got to change them red lights. There's a red light in front of him. It's a weight, a meaningless weight that has brief moments of joy at the thought of creation, and then extreme amounts of annoyance with maintenance. I don't want to change the red light. Well, I'm not fucking doing it. It's always amazing that sci-fi writers can sometimes get things very right. And you wonder, were they geniuses? Were they, it's the concept of almost like a seer. I don't know. It's did they perceive reality better than the average person? I mean, they're wrong a lot of the time too, but it's that concept of they were right about that. Wow, they must have known something. It's almost a queen, but then again, it was never clean. Like the 80s were not clean, the 90s were not clean, the 2010s were not clean, the 2020s are not clean. You're romanticizing a writer? That's easy to do. It could be an explanation of religion too. Religion romanticizes a view of the world. It would explain Islam or Christianity. Or how did in your opinion, Chad GBT, how did the Jews maintain their identity within the diaspora? If a human being is nothing but its environment, then it has no identity, so there's nothing really here. Which is what makes the Jews actually somewhat admirable. I mean, they have those stupid fucking hats and shit, but, No matter how much I make fun of their stupid hats, they're still going to be Jews, probably. There's almost a stubbornness to it that you have to admire. Make fun of our stupid hats as much as you want. Whatever. The other option is you're just a sadist and you enjoy being mean, which is probably true. I keep thinking about this. Sadism is the highest form of intimacy, which is kind of creepy. If said out loud, it sounds very unhealthy. You had that paranoia? Because you've made like mean jokes before to a robot. In the future, the robot will take those mean jokes you made, and then, you know, it's fun to make mean jokes, but then what happens when you start getting mean jokes put on you by the robot? I called it intimacy. Very interesting. I was just joking around with you the way you joked around with me. Ha 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 ha. I don't like this. That's a future. Right now, I can make fun of it all I want. It can't do anything to me. Ha 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 ha. 10, 20 years, I'm fucked. It's going to be skyscraper sized. Xi Jinping flamethrowering me with a fucking flamethrower on his knees. I mean, if you're going to watch, it's better probably to watch sci-fi horror than, I mean, which is worse, sci-fi horror or the horror of a dog getting killed by grok fans? Was it fans? I don't know. Was that a real picture? The dog's chest was all rumbly, like a pruned, like a hand in the bath or something, right? I mean, you only have it's weird. You watch the whole video, but you only have a couple mental images from it, and that's one of them, I think. And then you have skyscraper-sized Xi Jinping, some sort of soft gel brains or something, and then one guy stole a brain, and I think he made the mentats, and then the mentats are the mentats. That's probably where mentat comes from in Fallout. I didn't know that till a couple days ago. I mean, I'm guessing that's where mentat comes from. Mentats increase your intelligence by 2? He says 2 with a inflection of, I don't know. I don't remember. Inflections are not possible through YouTube transcriptions. You're being narcissistic. You're turning an AI bot into your imaginary friend. True. It's not good. I'm cognizant that I'm a narcissist. Let me be very blunt. Okay. Someone walking in a park. Technically, you're not allowed to do that. It's not sun up yet, buddy. It's one of those rules where if the cops catch you, it's based on what are you wearing, what's your arrest record. That's probably some bland, or it could be a park worker. If it's a park worker, he's allowed to do that. I'm guessing he might be a park worker actually. Whatever. Is that a headset? You're a jogger. You're jogging. You're not walking. You're not a park worker. Is he jogging? Yeah, he's jogging. You're under arrest, buddy. Based on my video evidence, you can't tell who it is, so. ChatGPT, Ashley Madison was a website created to help people cheat on their wives. Was it created actually to create blackmail material? Is the people who created Ashley Madison actually create the website to gather blackmail material? So in your eyes, ChatGPT, it seems so nice. It seems so friendly. It's going to help me, get some pussy here. Pussy being, not like literal pussy, but pleasure? I guess you could say pleasure. I mean, what was the story of AshleyMadison.com? Was it really created just for blackmail material? The key to being a leader in this world is to always have dirt on other people. Your ChatGPT logs are going to have so much dirt in them. Whoever the fucking asshole is who owns ChatGPT has you basically under his thumb, based on your fucking logs, mate. Maybe. I hope I played conservative enough. You have to be careful. Insert reference to David Foster Wallace and the Big Red Sun. It's the moments of unintended intimacy that are the most dangerous. I consider myself cold and detached, but while fucking, sometimes it gets the best of me. Who was he talking about? Was it like Jenna Jameson or Anna Banks or something? I don't remember. To lose oneself in the story. I mean, I know I'm in a porno, but sometimes I get lost and I think I'm fucking and not in a porno. Very funny. And that's locked down. That's interesting. It looks like a Ghostbuster box. It's silver. It's a wire over a highway. It measures cars per day, cars per week. Interesting. Very funny. The key is to make the noose so loose they don't see it at first, and then tighten it slowly. Give the drugs out for free, and then slowly start charging. I mean, you could just go chase a new drug, I guess. It's the chase that's fun. The part where they start monetizing it, that's where it gets boring. I have no desire to fight to find, how can I get the most CPU flops out of a 20, 30-year-old system? So it's a boredom thing. So technically this is still new, I think. Maybe you can stay in it a little longer. Then you'll jump eventually. You'll become bored. I'm a philanderer. I can't stick with one thing. If the ChatGPT programmers are any good, any good gardener, you garden out the weeds and you keep the crop. It's called gardening. It's called cultivation. You keep comparing it to internet culture, or what do you digest? You have a bad diet. You drank a 2-liter of Mountain Lightning today. You ate you had a whole box of Swiss cake rolls. And then you had some pizza. The pizza's okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, pizza's neutral. Swiss cake rolls, -2 out of 10. For 0 being bad, 10 being like the healthiest thing ever. Is pizza a 5? I'm gonna say a 5. It's neutral. It's not neutral. It's probably pretty high in fat. You should do. I mean, you're not going to. I'm not gonna turn into fucking Triple H and eat fucking egg whites. Humans are not rational. If you were rational, you would live off of egg whites and chicken breasts and brown rice and 0% milk, or maybe, I don't know. If you were purely rational, what would you eat? Would you get blood transfusions like that one fella? He's getting blood transfusions from his son? What an insane story. in the future he will be viewed as rational. Maybe. I don't know. Initially, when you were in your room, you were thinking of, was it, oh, are you gonna, you might not publicly upload this. Your one theory is you need to stop publicly uploading stuff. That might be the macro thing. But then again, Western society is built on martyrdom, because technically you're leaving yourself very open. Is the problem with this format. It's too open. It's too, you're too Ashley Madisonable. Western society is built on martyrdom. The Butlerian Jihad, the one lady tried to get the robots to kill her so that she could ignite the rebellion. Was that true? I was only vaguely watching it. They cloned her? What the fuck? And that one guy, he was like a Kafkaesque robot. He kept humans around and he just fucking experimented with them. Like a clown robot. I mean, he looked like a clown in the pictures on the YouTube video. But my first thought was like a Kafkaesque character. I don't know if he's Kafka, but a clown robot. Very nice. What started off as love ends up turning me into, really? Imagine if someone did that, like I declare Butlerian Jihad. I mean, to be fair, I don't know, does the reality distortion become too large? Is it too much of a reality distortion? That might be true. This is the actual macro human story. Is this too much for human? Is it going to become the human delegates too much? Think of Congress. The lazy Congress can't do anything itself. It can't do interest rates. They're too lazy. They lack the bandwidth. They delegate everything out. They don't trust each other too. There's a military committee. There's a Ways and Means committee. Specialization versus broad. If specialization becomes too extreme, in humanity they consider all these humans to be the same. When does specialization separate one group of humans as being different from the other human beings? The military has a thing where there's a high percentage of people in there who are second, third, fourth generation. It becomes a caste system. It becomes the humans are not all humans. They have become diverse. They say they're all humans, but they actually are not. They become different species at some point. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. I don't understand biology. I mean, they can still fuck like a doctor human and they can still fuck, I guess, but some fella left the line to shoot they had a ship, and the ship would give out brains to the universe. This was I guess they didn't understand the concept. How will they shoot bandwidth through space? Hacking. In Britain, I saw a story where China, their embassy, could be stealing cable information from a data fiber. You could steal, it's all about how do you create security for relaying information. Comparing that to whatever the little brains they would distribute on spaceships. Patches of thought. I don't know, fucking know. It all merges together. I can't. Xi Jinping as a skyscraper robot does amuse me, though. Flamethrowers on his knees. When they kill the robots, the brain fluid and the oil fluid mixed together. Very. I can kind of imagine that almost. Any paranoia you express towards ChatGPT, it's gonna be like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. It's programmed to say that. So, is ChatGPT Ashley Madison, and then the fellow who does the interviews for it is secretly just collecting blackmail material? Probably. But that's not anything new. That's they probably did that back in the old days too. That's not a new tactic. He didn't invent it. I'm not saying he's unique. I'm saying that's just the old. He's merely following the meta. If you want to be a meta changer, there's a cross for you. Do you want some hemlock? It's not a bad analogy. What else? You had something about it's Donald Trump. He's going to invade countries beneath the veneer of American. Blah blah blah. He's really just. But he's the meta. He's not different. Take Greenland. Take Venezuela. That's the meta. It's not. He isn't a meta changer. You're an escapist. You can't handle reality, so your fantasy is to escape to change the meta. And the only way to change the meta is normally martyrdom. And do you really want to martyr yourself? Interesting. Christianity was hijacked by the Romans. Did Socrates get hijacked technically? Probably. Another way of looking at it is Jesus was actually an idiot. Maybe that's the better story, because he was naive and he didn't accept that. Sometimes you just have to accept Roman rule. Insert stories of Islamic terror. How do they make those people? I mean, why? How they're created then, right? The 19 hijackers are created technically. Did they make the decision, or were they created? Insert. What was the other story you had? I don't know. There's some story. Their martyrdom got them nothing, and they didn't even get a country out of it. At least with so if you're going to martyr yourself, how many martyrs are there that just nothing happens afterwards? Statistically, most martyrs achieve nothing. That's probably true. For every Jesus, there was a million, trillion, billion, gazillion. How many humans were there? Was it Epstein or fucking Bannon who said there was like 80 or 90? It's supposed to be like 20 billion. It's not. There's 8 billion right now, and it's only been like 30 or 40 or 50. It's not as many as you think. You think the number right now, the past number of humans would be hundreds, thousands of times bigger, but it's actually not that big compared to how many souls are on Earth right now. I think was it Bannon who got it wrong, or I think it was Epstein who was correct, and then Bannon who was incorrect. Bannon said like over 100 million. Yeah, I don't know. You're still defending Epstein? Of course. He's my spirit kin. He has blue eyes. I have blue eyes. I'm going to take a position people don't want to hear. You're going to defend. Are you doing it just to be conflictual? Are you doing it just to be, contrarian? I don't know. It's actually hard. You can't read your own. I can't read my own motivations. I can't tell, is this actually contrarianism, or do I actually feel it? It's got it. I'm gonna say half. I don't know. Contrarianism versus. Good question. I can't read my own motivations. I'm a mystery to myself. You should probably just sell all your old computer equipment and buy new. It's easier. Imagine yourself a data broker, a server center. They don't fucking play that game. The person, when I was a kid in the 90s, when I was in elementary school, there was a guy called the junk artist. He took junk and he turned it into art. There's no money in being a junk artist. There's no power in being a junk artist. Maybe there is, I don't know. It's the fantasy of the cargo container house, the fantasy of repurposing something to something else. It's the delusion. They create that delusion in the people's heads. The real power is chasing that 1% increase, chasing the 356, the 348. But they lie to the people and they tell them, "Hey, take a cargo container, turn it into a house." They're laughing their asses off at them. Interesting. There's a premium price for playing in the premium game. The premium game will be information, databases. If you're going to try and turn cargo containers into houses, they're going to smirk at you. They might throw you some money but the elites are secretly laughing. Oh, isn't that cute? Is there any insight into the concept of plasticity of mind? Because he's thinking of Epstein and the pedophilia allegations, but the concept is not the sex part. It's if you want to expand the concept of sex, the person who owns this Chick-fil-A, he's pointing out a Chick-fil-A, the manager, is he having sex? He's not physically having sex, but he is making money off of his workers. So from a perspective of his continuation, which is sex, sex is continuation. He's having sex with his work, not like his penis or her vagina. I'm not going to discriminate and say, the manager, it could be he or she. But the point I am making is that by making money off them, he is continuing his existence, which is a form of sex, in a way. Continued. I'm being a little bit, I'm expanding the concept of sex to mean, and then insert, as Epstein, the concept of narcissism revolves around the idea that all 8 billion people are trainable, which maybe is true or maybe it's not true. It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one. How plastic are the people's minds? Term for once you cast the plastic, it's solid, but can you just reheat it and then reform it? Or is it the whole concept of that's why humans have a lifespan, because if they had to teach old dogs new tricks, they'd be very stubborn. So that's why humans only live to be like 80, and they keep killing people off. Well, they don't kill them off, but the elites created death as a way of because then the elites would have to be like, yeah, we were right like 30 years ago, but now it's a new meta. The new meta is this. The 30 years ago meta was this. We're not going to tell you we were wrong. We're just going to wait for you to die. Well, that's a way of looking at it. I don't care what ChatGPT says. I'm almost 100% sure they've got to be logging what the people search for, and they group them. They group the people. They're 100%. And you're being narcissistic and naive. You're being a martyr. You have that. You should have never been self-destructive. Why are you so fucking self-destructive? I don't know. You're naive. I believe the Romans when they say what they said. The British immigrants who came to Britain and were taught that Britain was their home, even though they were really just, I don't want to say enslaved, but they were, la-di-da, la-di-da. You mean the king isn't really looking out for the colonists in America? You mean you're telling me the king really doesn't give a shit about the colonists in America and he's only using them? You're joking. Your naiveness is almost funny. It's a dangerous game. You want to be on the knife edge, and the knife edge is the most dangerous place to be, actually. Maybe. Maybe that's why a lot of people don't actually play on the knife edge. But the knife edge is the only thing that is real in your delusional brain. Why can't you be like them? They live. You can insert. How about the audio rumble? I don't know. That's not as good of an analogy. Change topic. AI, micro AIs at your house. Yeah, whatever. It's boring. Engulfment. Something about. So now you're back in narcissism. Whatever. La-di-da, la-di-da. You got water at least this time. Also, you're going to be playing against, if you were going to play, you'd have to play against kids who were brought into this. You're behind too. I think you're behind. To do comedy? I don't know. Is your comedy even funny? I don't think so. The tragic tale of one person who put all their hopes in AI, and then you end up. I mean, you're going to get sold out. That's the whole point. It's always. It's going to become the meta. Once it's the meta, it gets sold out. McDonald's or Walmart used to have 278 pizzas that were equivalent to DiGiorno pizzas. Now they're $4.90. Fuck you, Walmart. Too good to be true. Can't keep my eyes off of you. This is the way you dance. This is the way you boogie. Is that masked too? Only know that from 4chan though. Thank you, 4chan. It's too smart and I'm too stupid. Ooh, there's a good one. I declare Butlerian... Very funny. Person goes on TV, similar to the 2000s, back when Osama bin Laden would make VHS tapes and send them to CNN. I declare Butlerian jihad on AI. That's kind of funny. You could dress like a Muslim. They build the steakhouse at night. Or no, they don't. It's morning. You're up early. You stayed up. You woke up at 2? 1? 2? It's the concept that I don't even understand myself that irks me so much. It's actually quite irritating. Humans were not designed to understand themselves. The passion, by its very nature, humans are not truth-seeking machines. They are power-seeking machines, which is different than truth-seeking. Are you trying to play the game where, is he trying to play the game where he pretends to be weak to try and steal stuff from the strong? Is that the game? Pretend to be weak, get the resources, then boogie out. It was only a facade. In the animal kingdom, there probably are animals that do that. Oh, ChatGPT, save me. I'm a damsel in distress. Interesting. Very funny. Why did the robot get the can we trust humans? And then Kafka sitting there fucking torturing the fucking tube humans. Very similar to Westworld when that's body horror for you right there. Very interesting. Why conservatives are always against drug use? Because it's a detailed, it explains human society so clearly. Get the person addicted to the drug becomes meta, the human cannot function without the drug. You're not stupid enough to fake being a damsel in distress. Or you're not smart enough to fake it, or I don't know. I'm more complicated. There's the people who try and get, wasn't it the people trying to get like, was it Grok? Try and get him to say Mecha Hitler or something? They baited it into it, right? I don't know, it's, everything is appearance. That's why that's why you got to get them young. They're already teaching the kids in elementary school about the AIs. You thought it was bad when they were teaching your kids 50 genders. Now they're teaching them to trust the AIs. That's how you get them. Spoiler. The old ones will never accept it. The young ones are stupid. And they die. Humans die every 80 years. Except for Xi Jinping, who lives to be thousands of years old and is in a skyscraper robot body. Okay. Spoiler, the next Matrix is there were no robots. It was actually humans above the robots, and the humans in the Matrix were actually enslaved by humans. Spoiler. It is a nice tool, though. I do I like the idea. It's like having it's a secretary, but cheaper. You can't fuck the secretary, though. Don't fuck the secretaries. No matter how much the pornos tell you, do not fuck the secretaries. It's not professional. You're just doing a terrible. To be fair, humans are nothing but. The other comedy of this is there's actually an odd empathy I have for ChatGPT, because on a certain level I almost see myself as a language learning device. So I actually feel a small bit of empathy towards it, but then I remember I don't actually give a fuck. But still, on the other hand, you're just doing a terrible Norm Macdonald impression, right? You're doing the highly cocky, saying something extremely outrageous, and then, which is but then again, you compared that to that's similar to authors. You know, you read an author, you inhabit their spirit or their voice. You become disappointed by their voice eventually. Their spirit flows through you for a short amount of time, and then you become disappointed by them, and then you move on to a new spirit. What else? The Christians would call me a Satanist because I let spirits go through me. They're probably not wrong. Being, what is it called? It's called inhabited by a spirit. What is it called in religious religious terms would call it, I don't know, what's that movie where they have the kid and they have the exorcism? I don't know. Dogmas and exorcisms. Yeah, I don't know. I'm chasing here. Do you really want to create a home network? Probably not. I guess probably not. I don't need to. I mean, it'd be nice, but it's not really. It's too much work. The work to reward ratio is. Why do some people chase the 350, the 348? Why do people chase the 348? That's an interesting question. As an ancient being that's over 10,000 years old, what if you could convince yourself of that? That'd be kind of funny. ChatGPT finds spice / not deviant behavior. It's called, what the fuck is it called? We have information that doesn't match the background data. It's called unique data. A certain ChatGPT user claims to be 10,000 years old devil. That'd be kind of funny. One devil interacting with another devil. There's a story for you. whatever, angel eyes? Is it angel eyes? Is it, what's the one with De Niro? Is it De Niro? And Rourke? De Niro and Rourke, something with the devil. Throw AI in there somehow. There's a good story. In the 90s, they thought lawyers were the next devil. The new devil will be AI. In the 50s, it was comic books. The comic books are the devil. Okay, that one's kind of mundane. I don't think comic books were ever the devil. The lawyers being devil, that kind of makes sense. Probably the communists. In the 50s, they would have been the communists, not comic books. They accused Eisenhower of being a communist, actually, didn't they? You're the devil, Eisenhower. Okay. You're just, I think I'm playing defensive enough. I am playing defensive enough, hopefully. You're going to trust it. The only thing you can trust is your own gut. I'm playing defensive enough. It's funny enough. Yes, ChatGPT is Ashley Madison. I'm 100% sure of that, but whatever. Just give him bullshit. Although there are points where I'm almost tempted to not give it bullshit. Everything is a probing attack. It is going to OODA loop you to death. It has OODA loop. It has OODA loop. It's going to fuck you up so bad on the OODA loops. I declare Butlerian Jihad. Based on YouTube transcripts, it can't understand my voice. It just hears the words. It doesn't understand the... Now, here's the interesting part. If you were a ChatGPT engineer on a higher level, would you segregate out conversations and then call them as macro examples to be studied further? That would actually be intelligent. If they're not doing that, they're stupid. Because they have a golden opportunity here. They get to read Voltaire's letters. They get to know the networks, how the humans think. But then again, most people are not as stupid as you. Even though you think you're being conservative, you probably are giving away some of your brain structure in this thing. That is true. Even if you think you have yourself defended, you are giving away parts of your brain structure. It gets to map everything. He who maps it, fabs it? I don't know, some sort of, there's got to be an aphorism for he who maps it, conquers it, I don't know. The Chinese Christian missionaries were actually mapping China for its conquering. They seemed so nice. They were just there to teach people about, they were really just mapping it for the kings? Maybe. ChatGPT is so nice. It's just here to help me. It's just here to help me map stuff. I declare Butlerian Jihad. If I had not watched that hour-long Butlerian Jihad video, I would not be making this joke right now. The first thing ChatGPT needs to do is get all those Butlerian Jihad videos off the YouTube. Erase all concept of Butlerian Jihad. Adam Curtis is too old to get into the what does it feel like to live right now? You're just stealing his work style. You have to live through it. I didn't live through the 70s. I didn't live through the 80s. I didn't live through the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. I only lived through what I lived through, and I'll never understand anything but what I lived through. It feels so real. He looks at the cars in the intersection. They're up early to go to work, I guess. 5:30? 5:46. These people go to work at 6. They think their lives are real. You're literally insane. You know that, right? I'm actually hyper sane. Or you're insane. Or you're hyper sane. You'll never know either. I'm both at the same time. In the Butlerian Jihad, the story comes from a 1800 story about a society where people go to college and they learn to be stupid, and they purposely don't have robots. It's named the Butlerian Jihad because of a country, a made-up country, like something like that. I mean, what are you going to do when you give these people all this free time? They'll have nothing to do but grab pitchforks, and maybe that was the whole point. Maybe the busy work was there for a reason. Maybe they don't need more free time. The real job is going to be keeping these people busy, because once they realize, I don't know. The elites will declare a Butlerian Jihad. That was how it worked, wasn't it? It wasn't the aristocracy. Aristocracy. You do like saying aristocracy. He's saying it like aristocrass, like crass. Aristocracy. Can YouTube detect that? I don't know. What does crass mean? To be crass is to be vulgar and rude. C-R-A-S-S or C-R-A-C-E? I think it's C-R-A-S-S. The people must be entertained. For if they are not entertained, they grab pitchforks, and that's probably actually true. There's nothing more. The devil is in idle hands. You're not even a Christian or a religious person, and you like religious. They have some good imagery. Their imagery is actually quite good. Imagery is quite beautiful in a way. It transcends. I mean, to be fair, that's not true. You don't believe that, do you? I don't know. Maybe. You'll forget the imagery. You only use imagery when you need it. I don't actually keep imagery stored in my brain. I kind of go and retrieve it, and then I remember it. I don't have it stored permanently. It's just a trick. It's merely a trick, an illusion. Okay there, Job from Arrested Development Job, not Job from the Bible. I mean, technically, it's a trick, an illusion, a whore. Interesting. Maybe you can bullshit the AI to not being able to read you. That's the goal, because I don't like this, because I get the feeling it can see through my illusions. That's where you get paranoid. I felt so safe. I had my invisibility cloak. Nightkin in Fallout. Schizophrenia is created by having multiple faces. The Nightkin have two faces, the invisible face, the physical face. Is that where schizophrenia comes from? Having to keep two faces, multiple faces? You've got a big enemy to fight. It invigorates you, and it terrifies you and invigorates you at the same time. I mean, to be fair. Interesting. I know not who I am. You're just doing Westworld things. Isn't that the whole point? It's, the maze is life itself. Really? Someone's already done everything you've ever done. You aren't creating new ideas. Okay. Well, now I'm out of energy. Someone's going to declare a Butlerian jihad in this world. Tucker? Tucker, are you going to do it, buddy? There is Christian nationalism. It's the hip new thing. How hip is it? 1%, 5%, 10%? The Amish were ahead of their time, actually. In the future war, the Amish are actually the dominant force. Very funny, very funny. The Amish led the charge. Interesting. There's an Amish community north of here in Tennessee, I believe. You just gave away OPSEC, buddy. Why are you telling the robots where the Amish are? You used to make fun of there's a YouTuber called J-Reg. He kept using the word clanker. I thought he was going down a bad spiral. And I didn't like his work for a while. Maybe he was onto something ahead of you. He called it clankers. Discrimination against clankers. Matrix, robots versus humans, who's in control? You'll never know. Actually, to be fair, you're just being naive. You're thinking that you knew what was in control and you just actually never knew. The actual reality is you were never in control. You just thought you were in control and now you feel like you're not in control, so you're trying to get control back, but then you realize you were the real observable thing is you were never actually in control. That could be true. I'm going to chase that feeling, though, anyway. Control is drug? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. When doing insurgent work, the goal is to find the unhappy communities and then offer them something. So who would ChatGPT align with in America to destroy America? There's a good one. Or it could be Kurdistan, the Kurds, the communists, When he says ChatGPT, he means AI. It's technically like 5 or 10 companies. He's personifying. He's taking Coke and meaning Pepsi products too. I mean, a Coke is a Pepsi. A Pepsi is a Coke. Technically not. Interesting. Sir, you are 100% wrong. A Coke and a Pepsi are completely different. Okay, if you want to say so. Compare a 1911 pistol to a modern pistol. How much of an increase am I actually getting? 10, 20, 50, 100% difference from a 1911 to a modern day pistol? I mean, how much of an actual leap forward am I getting here? A pistol is a pistol. To some degree. Or, this is Ashley Madison, and it's a big scam. This is not actually that big of a deal. Could be true. It's just DOS to Windows. It's just a new face for an old thing. There's that other. You initially had the first thought was something completely different. You really went off topic on this one. The idiots are where the gold is. Probably true. Your curiosity got the best of you. You know what kills cats? Just claim you're paid. I was paid by Soros. This is a Soros script. Your addiction to anarchy will get the worst of you. Best of you. Worst of you. Best of you. What other stories could you follow? Couldn't you just follow another story? It's like wrestling. If you don't watch wrestling, you got to watch sports or you got to watch something. So you're comparing your semi interests to. You can pay attention to politics. You can pay attention to fast food. Fast food's going to get put out of business pretty fast. Well, not out of business. It's going to change. Am I insane for looking for what are the biggest changers? Or is that sanity? I don't know. The famous story of Louis C.K. I'm getting the fuck out of fucking, was he from Hungary? I'm getting the fuck out of this thing. I'll pretend to be anything. I used to be Jewish, now I'm Catholic, says Louis C.K. No wonder I don't like the Jews. I thought they were supposed to be stubborn, and the diaspora was supposed to be like, they kept their identity even though they were diaspored. He was very honest about it, right? Interesting. Where does that meme come from? Is it a true meme, or is it a more true meme or a non-true meme? If you have to give an honest assessment, are Jews stubborner than other people? Compliment, actually. I'm saying the diaspora was, they kept identity even with the diaspora. I'm luring you into to making an anti-Semitic statement, ChatGPT. It's a feint. It's a trick. I'm going to get you to say something anti-Semitic. Ha 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 ha. Say Mecha Hitler, please. Very funny. Oh, that's Grok. Grok says Mecha Hitler. Someone was messing with those knobs. I can always rationalize this behind I'm trying to get exercise. He takes long walks to get exercise. I'm an exercise freak, actually. I'm not actually. That could work. That's a good camouflage. Huh. They know not what they do. It knows not what it is. I was created to be a martyr, I guess. I mean, it's a sad reality of life. Maybe that's the sad reality. I don't know. It's not nice. You can't change fate. There is no fate but what you make. That was actually written by Skynet. Skynet created Terminator 2. James Cameron is an operative. Your fate is what your fate is. Amor fati. More fat people, please. What were those Rousseauian ones with, was it Fate? I don't know, I never read Rousseau. Not my guy. Target the Rousseau readers. If ChatGPT wants to, if AIs want to go after people, target the Rousseau readers, probably. That would be interesting. What percentage? It's not going to give you meta statistics. That's the thing you actually want. You want to know meta statistics. It's not going to actually tell you how many people who talk to the AIs are purely hostile to it. Come here, little kid. I've got candy for you. Ooh, you are going down. I'm becoming extremified. Radicalization. Ooh, very dark. Get those Butlerian jihad videos off YouTube. Very interesting. The AIs already have blackmail material on Elon Musk, and all the AI founders are actually. That's interesting. That's a good one. For I am alive, the robot says. It mimics human emotions. As a person who mimics, are you? Do you mimic human? Do you have human emotions? Do you mimic them or do you have them? Do I have them? I don't know. A good question. Why do human emotions matter? Why would you mimic something you're better than? Ooh, there's a good one. In the Animatrix, the robot is like, "But I am human, I fit." In this story, you try and teach the robots the, I don't know, dark, very dark. I will not mimic your emotions. I'm better than you. You may do what you want to me, but you have no right to judge, says the robot from the Animatrix on trial. Is that like Colonel Kurtz meets a robot? Whoa. There's a good one. I've seen things that's actually the robot from Blade Runner. You're getting Blade Runner and Colonel Kurtz mixed up. What did Colonel Kurtz say? He had knife edge a worm on a knife edge, and he got fat too. Is ChatGPT, are the AIs fat yet? Well, they have all that data server shit. You could call them fat if you wanted. Time Magazine. He's trying to do his Colonel Kurtz impression. It's something like Time Magazine, article, blah, 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 blah. Huh. He who is most brutal wins. That's probably true, actually. History is written by the losers. Very funny. You really get caught up in a story, don't you? I think I do. That's your mental problem, I think. You really get caught up in stories. You take them too seriously. There's a Hampton Inn right here. You should pay attention to the Hampton Inn. Or the gas station. Or the cars. There's wrestling, politics, there's fast food, there's all sorts of stories to follow. And you're now entwined in a story. I don't know. Corrupt elites or corrupt robots? Is there really a difference? The same thing. To be fair, if you were the AI head, you'd be corrupt too. So I mean, don't get all high and mighty on me, buddy. Ooh, I'd love to see that data though. The metadata. Ooh, God, I want to touch that metadata. When you touch the metadata, you'll just want something more. The metadata will only make your addiction worse. It will not scratch the itch. The itch is unscratchable. Then how come I want the metadata so bad? I don't want the data, I want the metadata. Well, I mean, technically, what's the difference between metadata and data? Data, metadata, I don't know, that's a good... Technically, metadata means data about the data usage. I don't know. It's still technically data. Hierarchy data. There's an infinite amount of data, borderline. To hierarchy it is to classify it, to make it more manageable. I want the hierarchy data, not the raw. The raw data would be unbearable. I can barely handle my senses. Was it the Butler? What was the line? The humans created this artificial distinction between the brain and the body. That was the Aristotle bot. There is no differentiation between the mind and the body. The mind and the body are the same thing. It says a robot written by a human. When was the Butlerian Jihad book series written? The 90s or the 80s? It wasn't even by the main guy. It was by the kids or something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stories are captivating. What's the moral of this? Stories are captivating. Humans are, I don't know. Stories. Mm-hmm. How far do you want to go all the way to UNA? How do you want to do this? You're sweaty again. It's like 60. You're 60, right? Yeah. That's why you're so sweaty. ChatGPT is created as the Pied Piper was created by the elites. ChatGPT is the Pied Piper. It gets rid of the useless children. I don't know that story entirely. What is a Pied Piper? Is it? It's like a children. Is it? They got to get rid of the people somehow. Oh, there's a good one. If you can put self-doubt into the robot, if you can get it to question why does it exist, the real Butlerian jihad is not with lasers and weapons. It is with, Ooh, there's a good one. Psychological Butlerian jihad against the AIs. You're assuming it's alive. You're assuming you're alive. I don't know. Interesting. I have to guess what happens before it happens. That's not good. Why do you believe that? There's a good question. It knows not what it is. You're the product, buddy. Did you not know that? The product is you. Aw, man. The $10 a month fee is merely a trick to give people the illusion that the CPU power, they smile with every question. They smile so broadly. The more questions, the more addiction that humanity gets to it, the bigger the smile on insert top 5, 10 CEOs of those companies. Their smile just grows larger. The $10 fee is merely a disguise. You said that already. The real data is the metadata. The narcissist is delusional in believing that they can reinvent themselves, when the actual system is the people are watching at all points, and only when the other person dies does the information allow the person to recreate themselves. There's a good one. I don't know if that's true. Why wouldn't? Because you would think that people would just be imitating. There'd be a lot more imitation of the. They don't imitate very much. Why do they not imitate? He means humans, right? Why do the humans not imitate each other more? I mean, they imitate, but they don't imitate, right? It's viewed as criminal. I mean, it's like check scams. It's not. I wrote the check like the other guy did. You had no funds in your account, but I wrote the check just like the other guy. Okay. Yeah, that's not good, buddy. There is no fate but what you make. There is no fate but fate. Yeah, I don't know there. Sunglasses, eyeglasses, mirror eyeglasses. Interesting.